Oh, we're live! Kinda. Are we here? Is anybody else here? Doesn't matter.
I thought we still have like 4 minutes.
No, it's 9 o'clock.
I have 8:56.
Lindsay, you need to check your time.
No, I mean my computer. I was hoping we had a few more minutes because I have to go get the AC adapter for my camera, or it will go to sleep on its own.
Well, nobody's watching, so you can do whatever you need to do.
My cat will entertain you while I go get my AC adapter.
What's the cat's name?
Austin.
Austin.
Here, Austin.
You don't have like a, it's not like Mr. Bigglesworth or anything like that?
No, it doesn't. Yep, there he goes. I'll be back in a moment.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Oh, just you know, just hanging out.
You think your boys got a chance tomorrow or Monday?
I have a lead pipe lock on Monday's game. Lead pipe lock. And I'll give you, and I've got sound reason on it too.
And it's not it isn't that the team that scores the most points wins.
I mean, that's definitely going to help. I mean, that's going to be the key there, but that's not the. You know, I do have I have solid for factual information that the reason why I'm picking my pick. But I'll have to tell everybody here in a minute. I got to wait for at least Lindsay to get back. And somewhere Hunter's going to be back. He had to run to the store, so he was busy with doing whatever. My camera looks like crap tonight because I loaned out my little USB to USB-C adapter for my webcam, and didn't get it back. So that's all right. I got a face for radio and a voice for silent film, so we're doing good. Oh man, it's about to get really cold here. So,
is it we're during the day our highs are like in the mid 60s still. Next one day this week it's going to be like the high 50s, but we're still pretty much in the 60s.
That's normally what we have here. It's like a good, like, you know, it's long sleeve shirt will get you by. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, maybe a jacket or a vest in the morning and then a long sleeve shirt in the afternoon, you know, will get you by. But next week it's supposed to snow like 4 days in a row. I'm like,
oh, crap.
Fuck this. Every time it snows, we don't have power for like a week. You know, they're like, you know, so we have our own power grid, right? The state has its own power grid, but the federal government gets to say like how much power you get to use. You know, and so they can shut the power off. They're like, oh, you're using too much power. You got to shut off. Fuck those people. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, good grief. But it's all right. We're 3 minutes into the show and not a person is here. So if you're in the comments, leave us a comment. Hey, we could do a show about something else. It could be the greatest show in history, and people are gonna have to watch it as like an archive. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're all
Oh, you're gonna watch to get the algorithm up? Oh man, that's all right. It's our last show of the 2024-2025 season. Our next show will happen I think it's going to be in the end of May. We're going to have our May show, and then we'll have like some kickoff stuff through the start of the season. Oh, there he is. Text Talking Shop. Hey, I don't know what all the emoji. I need Miguel Martinez here to translate the emojis.
I know.
Yeah. Shout out to Miguel Martinez.
The emoji king.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how. I'm too old to learn the emojis, I think.
Yeah, I don't know them. I just put the same ones up. And I don't even know if I know what they mean. I just put them out there because I like them. You got string cheese going?
I'm over here stuffed my. What's that?
That string cheese?
Absolutely. I'm 12 at heart. You're never too old for string cheese. That's all I can tell you.
String cheese, some good stuff.
I've lived many a year on string cheese. Diabolical 58. What's going on? But no, we're just hanging out right here. Oh, look who's back, Lindsay. Did you go turn your other TV on to the show so we have 3 viewers?
Oh, no, hold on, let me do that.
All right. We gotta boost the numbers for our ego only.
It's rocking and rolling now. 2 are watching, according to YouTube.
I was happy to get some content last week. I missed you last month. But it's good to recharge.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer I'm going to continue making videos, though, on a regular basis anyway. It's just, for the effort, not much return.
You mean you don't like to do it, Lindsay?
And I haven't liked it for years, but I do it because it became habit after a while. But the frustrating thing, and I think it's the same across every YouTube channel, is your viewers are such a small percentage of your subscribers, and most people who view aren't subscribers. So if people who would subscribe would watch, and people who would watch subscribe, it would be a much different story. But right now,
you just need to get a half-naked hot chick on your show every week, and you'll be good.
Which I wouldn't mind. I just don't know any that I could get for free. I couldn't afford to pay.
I mean, they have places where you can make a call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it costs money.
She's not doing anything between the hours of like 8 and 6. Maybe resting. I mean, like she could come in at noon. So thanks for everybody joining us here. We got 4 viewers. We're just going to talk about the things other than football for a little bit, and then we'll hop on because we got to fill some time. Not gonna lie, this is a very light show. There's not a lot going on this week. If you're not aware, there's a championship game on Monday, and after that, it is over unless you like the NFL. So, I chased 2 people away from that.
I don't know who's playing Monday.
We're not going to tell you, Lindsay. We're just going to keep it a secret.
Well, I can't watch any of the games because stupid ESPN isn't available unless you do things.
I bet this one's on regular TV. Wouldn't you assume this would be right?
Oh.
It's on Fox, isn't it?
I don't know. Does that mean we're going to have, if it's on Fox, does that mean we're going to have Gus and Klatt call it?
Probably.
Gus Johnson might be the greatest announcer in any sports.
His greatest call was about 15 years ago. I'm not sure if it was a Pac-12 tournament game or an NCAA tournament game, but Isaiah Thomas was playing, and it was, down 2 with like a minute left, and he did a couple of moves behind the back, in between the legs, jump shot for 3, and he nailed that call, man. That was such an awesome call. How he gets all excited and yells and screams.
Mm-hmm.
Gus Johnson.
He's like, wow. It really does.
Who do you prefer, Kirk?
He's like, he's got that get away from the cop speed.
Fowler and Herbstreit or Johnson and Klatt?
I'd rather listen to Gus Johnson than anybody. I like Klatt's good, not bad, but Gus Johnson's so exciting. He can make a bad game exciting to watch.
I used to like to watch on Fox Sports Network when Barry Tompkins, I think, and Petros Papadakis used to do the Pac-12 Game of the Week, and I think it was Tompkins. But he's just an old dude, straight up serious.
He would do that boxing show with on Sunday afternoon. It was like a Fox Sports. Yeah. He was solid for sure. That was a solid show.
But watching
I like
him,
Petros though. Petros is fun to listen to as well.
But that's what made them great together, because Barry Tompkins would be talking to the camera, talking about all his notes, and Petros would be like making faces. He can't help himself. He's just there, and I'm rolling. It's just so. Oh man.
Yeah, he'd be one I'd like to get on the show. That's a
Working
joke.
on it.
I'm making a joke. We're working on it. We're working. We're going to throw it out there in the universe and see if it comes back. Petros, if you're watching,
I submit for
we can tell
your
jokes.
I submit for your consideration the single greatest contribution by a commentator to any sport at any time in history was John Madden calling a kick that struck the goal a doink. Yes or no?
It's the
That's
double
good.
doink.
I contend that it is. It
That
seems
was-
that
I don't know.
everyone
Brent
has
Musburger pointing out AJ McCarron's wife, then girlfriend. He's like, wow, what a beautiful woman. Brent Musburger. Rest in peace to Bob Uecker. If nobody knows who Bob Uecker is,
Oh, he just
Bob
passed away.
Uecker is the Harry Doyle, the voice in Major League. Bob Uecker
Get outside.
is one of the greatest commentators of all time. He
was being the front
was
row.
tremendous.
He was
So-
wonderful. His personality was fantastic, and his ability to call a game was unparalleled. I was surprised to find though that he was 90 years old. I thought he was 90 years old like 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's what drinking will do. You know what I mean? It just
I know.
ages you a lot faster. He was 90 in human years, but in drinking years, he was like 172. It was amazing that he lived that long. I don't know that he drank. He could have been a straight edge guy. No idea. We're just gonna roll with it. It's not he's gonna come here and do anything about it.
I used to love his Miller Lite commercials.
Less filling.
Tastes great. I must be in the front row, like Lindsay said earlier. I must be in the front row.
That's a great line.
Yeah. Rest in peace, though. Bob Uecker. Great.
He was
great.
one of the
We
great
lost
sports
another good
personality.
one, too. Unless TikTok was lying to me. Did we lose John Amos too?
Yeah, he died a while back.
Oh, was it? I just saw yesterday that they had a tribute to him on TikTok.
I posted up on my Instagram like 4 months ago, and he'd already been dead for like 6.
Oh man, it's been a while.
Yeah. No, he was a good actor. I liked him. My favorite role is definitely Mr. McDowell.
Oh, McDowell.
Or-
We get Golden Arches, not the
Yeah,
Golden
or in
Arches.
Good Times.
Yeah,
Huh?
Good Times. Good Times was good too.
Yeah.
When McDowell said, no, we're not ripping them off. So they've got the Golden Arches. We've got the Golden Arcs.
Yeah, they have the Golden Arches. We have the Golden Arcs. We both have a all beef patty, but our buns have no seeds. Oh man, one of these days Jude and I are just gonna go full booger eater, and we're gonna talk about wrestling and 80s movies.
Oh man, that would be fun.
I'm
We're gonna
still
have to
not
get
over
Lindsay
the death of
to
Susan B.
moderate.
Anthony, though.
What's that? You're still upset
I'm
about
still not
Susan
over
B.
the death of
Anthony?
Susan B. Anthony.
Ah, it's all right. It'll
Still a tough
pass.
film.
Yep. R.I.P. All right, who wants to talk about some football? You want to talk about football?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. One of Susan
Let's
B.
talk about
Anthony's
something.
favorite sports.
Yeah, I'm sure that whatever. Susan B. Anthony was alive like 132 years ago.
She died in 1906. But
So she'd have
she
been
was
alive
a-
132 years ago.
She was a. It's not overstating it to say she was a star at flag football.
Okay. Jude, Lindsay's gonna have no idea what we're talking about, so we're just gonna let him listen to our conversation, and he can fill in.
Yeah,
in
if
a
it's
second.
about football, you're right.
All right. Do you like the idea of moving the transfer portal to a smaller window after the season is over? Where it's like a short window where the portal opens up, then guys can't hop in until that time.
Yes.
I actually
Absolutely.
did some reading up on the transfer portal. I understand it better than I thought I did.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so are you in favor, Lindsay, of the transfer portal being moved to on one specific time? Instead of having 2 transfer portals, we just have one portal, and everybody
Yeah,
enters
because-
the portal. And
I do, and I don't quite understand the rationale for why it is the way it is today, because that doesn't make sense to me.
well, So I think a few things are going to happen along the way. Now we are far from this being a reasonable thing because a couple of things need to happen first, right? The players at some point are going to have to come up with a players union because they are being paid like kind of like the NFL. NFL has a players union. College football is going to have that. This means a separation from the NCAA. And I think the players at some point are going to have a players union. And then they need to have this transfer portal realistically needs to happen before the spring season starts. That way they can get the guys on campus. And who we kidding? They're professional athletes, right? Let's not lie and say like, oh, they're there for the education. The guy that's the walk on, he's there for the education. The guy that's getting NIL money, he's there to make money.
Yep.
And then they need to have contracts so these guys are locked in and they can buy themselves out of a contract, much like in the NFL. Or, they can honor their contract. But they need to stop the collusion between the schools because schools need to stop going and talking to players while they're currently enrolled at other schools. I think that's a huge problem, but I think that's one thing we could fix. I'm not against the players making money. I'm 100% for it because they're playing a sport that they'll only last so long doing it. They need to be able to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. I think that's a great thing. But what I don't like is I don't like guys taking off early. You should have to play the bowl game to get your NIL money. Instead of leaving your team in the lurch, like what happened to Florida State last season, and then with guys hopping in the portal this year. This is where I'm at on that. Hello, Brian Stewart. How are you doing today? He says, "Hello, ladies."
Hello,
Valboski.
It's interesting that you mentioned player unionization because it has been tried. Dartmouth College has tried it a couple of years ago with football players, and they recently announced that the current push for unionization in 2024 was officially dropped as well. The idea, I think, is sound, but until labor boards can agree and somebody says okay to put one in place, I don't think it's happening yet, but it has been tried.
Well, the whole deal is they're going to have to get like they have agents, right? Let's not be fooled. These guys aren't out there negotiating their deals on their own. They have agents. You need to have agents that are like NFL certified agents. You know what I mean, to handle the NIL for college. And I know this is stuff that doesn't pertain to college football, but it does pertain to college football because there's two groups right now. There's the have and the have-nots, right? I happen to cheer for two teams that are the haves, but there's also teams that are the have-nots. I'm not saying it needs to be fair because I think fair is where old men wear funny hats and judge farm animals, right? But I am for if you have the money, spend it, right? And if they have the way to pay the players, pay the players. But it needs to, it's just right now it's like the Wild West out there, and it's real frustrating to like listen to guys go places and then leave, and then like they're on their fourth school in 4 years. I think you need to be locked in somewhere unless the coach leaves or you buy yourself out. But I'm tired of watching it. It's not. I'm not tired of it. It's just like it's kind of frustrating. You're just like, man, these guys, would. I don't know. I want to say play for the team, but you're looking out for yourself too. But if you're looking out for yourself, are you a really good teammate? Like, I mean, who's the football's greatest teammate of all time? Who's the greatest teammate in the history of football? There's one guy. I'm going to point out one name here in a second. I'm going to see what y'all think. Who's the greatest teammate in all of football?
NFL or college?
All time?
Either. All time. The greatest teammate.
I'll say the fullback that blocks for the Heisman Trophy when you're running back. So Marcus Allen blocking for Charles White.
That's a good one. Marcus Allen's one of my favorite running backs of all time.
I don't know. I don't know who it would be, but I know that throughout history there were players, and I know for years Tom Brady was one of them who consistently took less monetary compensation in their contracts so that they could preserve the salary cap and get other players on the roster.
Yeah,
Anyone who's willing to take some degree of sacrifice like that is, they are looking out for teammates in the bigger picture.
Even
And then,
I was going to say Tom Brady.
and then you get guys like
Brady.
Yeah.
Brady
In baseball,
definitely
Juan
passed on
Soto's
money.
a great example of a guy who just wanted as much money as he could possibly get. Alex Rodriguez, another one. He had an escalator clause in his contract that he would always be the highest paid player in the game. And guys like that are not team oriented at all. So are they great players on the field? Yeah, but are they great teammates? That's guys who are willing to actually sacrifice so other people can succeed are, by my definition, good teammates.
I say Brady. I would say Brady would be the one. But that's what I'm getting at now. We have this NIL deal, and these guys are looking out for themselves, which they should. They should,
Yep.
because a lot of them come from situations where they need to. But like I said, the way that teams work is you have to buy into a team, or it doesn't work. Like, if you've ever played a team sport, you know that if you have a group of people that don't buy into the team dynamic, the team assembly, it's never going to work.
No.
So it'll just be because there's always like a rift. I'm going to fall back to when I coached the youth, and we had a problem. We had a bunch of really good players, but they didn't buy in. They didn't take it serious, and so they always struggled getting past a certain point. And I took a team several years later that had less talent than that team, we were dominant because they bought into the team concept. Everybody knew that they had a role. This was their role within the team, and that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
We weren't paying players, obviously, but you played your position to your ability. You didn't go and I think it's stupid what we're doing. Well, if you think it's stupid, then hit the bricks. But
yeah.
It's so hard, though. It's so hard. At least in college, you can pay these guys to come in, but shit, I don't know.
And it's difficult.
Should be a flat rate equals pay cheerleaders, make them the most, and backup kicker, and so on and so on.
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It can't be fair because at the end of the day, you're also the one with the talent. It's like telling a guy, like, at work. If somebody had to go head-to-head with me at work, I would make more money than them more times than not. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm just saying, I have experience. I know how to do it. So if I was only going to make the same amount as the guy with no experience, I wouldn't try hard at all.
Of course. Yeah.
I was just making that example earlier. Somebody was asking me, and I gave them an example of two people in the shop, and one guy works a quarter of what the other guy did, but he makes almost the same amount of money, working just a quarter of it. He's just more efficient on his work. But that's a backstream. That's for another show. We're talking football here. All right. I don't know where Hunter is. We've burned enough time. We're 23 minutes into the show. We got 4 people watching. I don't know how many of y'all have your TVs on the panel, but thank you if you do. Jude, Lindsay. All right. We're going to talk national championship football here. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. And the Buckeyes are a solid favorite. Now, I'm going to let Jude give his pick first, and he's going to tell us why he's taking the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm pretty right. I think I'm Jude taking the Buckeyes.
I'm taking Ohio State. I said it a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, actually. I didn't say it last week, but I did say it 2 weeks ago. That when it comes, at least, I shouldn't say in the Freeman era, but in the Brian Kelly era, Notre Dame has played some very high-profile games, national title game against Alabama. They played some big preseason, early season games against SEC teams where they just didn't show up and they were just clobbered. I expected that when they played Georgia, not because they're not a well-coached team or don't have good players, but just because they don't have great players. Notre Dame gets players. I mean, for every 5-star team player that goes to Ohio State or Alabama or Georgia, Notre Dame's getting the 3 and the 4-star player that's got a 4.0 GPA as well. They're getting smart guys, and that's part of what makes them good. And I just ultimately believe that when it comes to the big game, which this is the biggest one of the year, it's the last one of the year, I'm going to stick with my formula that overall talent is going to come out. You know, Ohio State's shown that they can be beat, and they've shown that they are not invincible. But when the games have mattered, they've also showed that they're pretty damn tough to beat, and these are the games that matter. I don't think Notre Dame has enough 5-star players to hang with Ohio State for 4 quarters. I can see them hanging, 21-10, 21-13 at halftime, and end of the game being 44-20, something like that. That I just think Ohio State's ultimately going to save Ryan Day's job, at least until they play Michigan next year. And talent's going to win out, not because they're better coached, but just because they have the better players. That's my take on that.
All right, so you're saying 44-20 final score.
Something like that.
Okay.
I think I did say
Lindsay.
that, yeah.
I'm not holding you to it, but
Ohio State
it makes it a lot better if you like Jude said 44-20. It was 55-10. Jude was correct.
Ohio State has proven that they are big time, and beating the teams they have beaten in the postseason shows that nothing is going to stop them, and Notre Dame is no exception. It's going to be a good game, but OSU has it all over them. And although I think when you're watching two Titans clash like we're going to see, it should be a fairly close game early on. But Ohio State has beaten all comers and teams that are on paper way better than they were when he beat Oregon, when he beat Texas, when he beat these other teams that you would think would be standing at the top of the heap right now. You realize they all fell to the wayside because Ohio State was on the field against them. They are certainly going to beat Notre Dame. And I'm surprised to see that the spread is as low as it is. I would think for sure that we see a spread of at least, say, 13.5, because I would certainly take the over of the 8-point spread that's on the line now. Rather, they're going to cover that spread and then some. I look for them to win by a couple of touchdowns. I'll take the over 2 on the points, which is 45.5.
Ohio State's going to get that on their own.
You really, and I don't see Notre Dame as being the problem to them that I thought any of the other teams would be. I mean, all along I thought that Ohio State would have been bounced out now a few rounds ago, but I was wrong. And they've shown that they not only have staying power, excuse me, but they're clearly superior in how they execute. They're well put together. Their game plans are solid, and they don't have the execution issues that some other teams have. They're not their own worst enemy like we've seen other teams work against themselves when it comes to penalties. They're solid. They're foundationally very good. They know how to execute the elemental portions of the game to the point where they're going to walk away with this one in the end. Again, I look for them to win by a couple of touchdowns.
You want to give a final score?
Let's say 45-17.
All right. I'm going to have a different opinion, y'all, of course, because I have to. Like everybody has to have a contrarian these days. All right. So things I took off from the games last week. Notre Dame went in on a short week, and they literally went in and roughed up the team they played. They really beat them up. I like how Lindsay leads here, but he's back. I had a hot take in you. I ran off for a hot.
No, minute. I was right here. You just didn't want to watch me blow my nose, I'm sure.
Well, thank you. I think everybody's got a case of the snivels lately.
Everybody's
yeah, right here. Cough drop.
yeah. Well, I've been eating cough drops like they're going out of style the last couple of days, trying to get my face cleaned out. But anyways, so I watched Ohio State and Texas play last week, and I was disappointed. Texas had a chance to tie it up late, and they had some unfortunate. As much as I didn't like the refereeing, it was not the reason why they lost the game. They just lost the game. They didn't play well. What I did like what I did see is the defense. Ohio State was supposed to go and throw the ball all over Texas, and they couldn't throw the ball at Texas at all. They were able to run the ball a little bit. They were able to move the ball a little bit, but they weren't able to throw the ball like they thought they were going to. So that's a good sign. Now, with that said, the one key feature that Notre Dame kind of aligns with Texas on is they have good secondary. They can cover the pass, and they can put pressure on Will Howard. They have an array of defensive pass rushers. I think Ohio State's going to have to control the clock. They're going to have to play Notre Dame's game in a sense, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit more. But they're going to have to run the ball and try to control time of possession. And then once they control time of possession, get a score, and then force Notre Dame to play catch-up. But if they let Notre Dame get to any kind of lead, it is going to be a long day for Ohio State. They're going to struggle because if Will Howard has to drop back 25, 30 times in a game and throw the ball, he's not your accurate quarterback. He's not your downfield passer. He's going to struggle throwing the ball. Those guys aren't going to be open. So I'll give Notre Dame a slight edge there. The run game, I think I give Ohio State probably the slight edge there. I think the game's going to be a lot closer than what a lot of people think. But I do have a lead pipe solid lock for the game. I'm going to finish with it. I'll finish with it. So, with that said, offensively, I mean, Notre Dame wants to make it a rock fight. That's how they've lived through the playoffs. That's how they, beat Georgia. That's how they beat, Penn State. They just make everything a rock fight. You want to go and play with them, they're going to go play tough physical football. Now, I mean, Ohio State can match up to it, but this is going to be the exact same offensive game plan that Michigan ran against Ohio State. They're going to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Ohio State did not do well against a team that can line up and run the ball down their throats and use these big tight ends to go move the ball down the field and stuff like that. That's exactly what Michigan did. I would imagine that it's going to look just like the Michigan game. You'll have a similar result. The offense, Notre Dame's best offense or best defense is going to be their offense. Keep the ball in your hands for the majority of the game, and you'll be successful. I think that's what Notre Dame needs to do. I think if they do that, they'll win. Now, my lead pipe guaranteed lock here. What's my number one rule? Don't make bets that you can't live up to, right? Like right. We had the dog shit bowl, the guy that said he would eat dog shit. Wasn't there another one? Didn't somebody else do something else? What was the other one? There was another big one, but they actually lived up and fulfilled their end of the deal. There's a person out there that says he would cut off his junk if Notre Dame wins a national championship. Now, I'm locked in. Because why would you make a bet that you can't live up to? Now y'all are like, man, I should take a Notre Dame. He's
not in transition or anything, is he?
Huh?
He's not like in transition or anything.
No, I don't think so. But this guy literally said he would cut off his junk for if Notre Dame wins a national championship. Like I think he said, they're not going to win. You just guaranteed them to win, you moron. So with that said, I'm taking Notre Dame 27, Ohio State 21. Mark it. Because it's the junk bowl. We're going to call it the junk bowl. The guy's going to lose his junk. There's another name we're going to call it backstage, but it's the junk bowl right now. Are you kidding me? What the are you doing? Stop making bets. Stop. Just lose your money. That's all you're going to lose. Just your money. Stop making bets you can't live up to. I'll eat a mountain of dog shit if Florida State loses to Boston College. Where's your spoon? That guy left the internet he'd been banned by TikTok is.
What was Florida State's final record? I know at one point they were 1-9.
It's 2-10. I think is what they finished up with.
Wow, man! That's
next
horrible.
Year's preview, I've got solid opinion on Florida State in next year's preview. Because Hunter and I have already started a process way too early predictions. I got a solid take on Florida State. So it's pretty good. I can't wait. This summer coming up, it's going to be so much fun because we're going to do a ton of these way too many early shows, and we're just going to give you way too early prediction. But I have another idea too. I got this great idea. So what I'm thinking is we start the show a little bit early, a little bit before the season starts, and we have a draft. We draft teams into our pick'em draft.
Okay.
So instead of instead of having a conference, we have a draft.
I like
So
that.
we draft our teams.
That's pretty cool.
You got to go head to head in a draft with everybody. That way, everybody's got a little bit of seasoning there. You know what I mean? But we don't do it. We're not going to go do 65 teams each. We're going to have like our conferences that we have to cover. But then we're going to have draftable teams. We're going to draft our teams. I know who Jude's going to pick first pick. You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious.
What? Oh, you know who I'm picking. Who's the first?
You're going to pick UCLA. I know you're going to pick UCLA. But I think it'd be kind of fun. We just let's not have the whole deal be a draft, but let's have a segment where we do our pick 'em and we drafted all our pick 'em, all our head to head picks. They're all teams that we drafted.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be a lot of fun.
So we're not individually picking against each other. We're picking our teams versus the other teams. Christian, you got a link, bud. I sent you a link. Although you might not want to come on because this show has not been all that spectacular. I'm kind of mailing it in tonight. I am kind of ready for the football season to be done, but it's good. Hey, the one thing I was talking about, or one thing I had thought about earlier, is remember the first year we did this? Didn't we do 2 to 3 shows a week?
We used to do a lot
How
of
the
stuff.
hell did I pull that off? Oh my gosh! It's one show a week's a real pain in the ass. So one show every 10 days is a pain in the ass. So give y'all a follow up. I don't know. Jude and I and Lindsay and Hunter, we may hop on next week. I don't know. Just see what happens. We'll leave it open. But for sure, we're going to be in May. We're going to have a May show. And then in June, we're going to start having our way too early picks. And I'm going to try to do those into short format where everybody does a YouTube short. When we do that, have a running total for everyone's picks. I was going to do that this year, Brian. You know how hard that is?
I think have a running total for that's difficult. I mean, it doesn't seem difficult because all we got to do is mark.
Lindsay and Jude's total is going to be exactly the same. Oh man, down to the pick.
Suspiciously similar. That is.
Let's see. It's like he's copying.
I got one way too early 2025 pick. I think there's going to be another tarmac game where instead of not making it off the tarmac on the way home from a game, I think Lincoln Riley's going to be on the way to a road game, and our AD is going to be, whoa, wait, hey, Lincoln, hold on. Before you make that trip, let me talk to you real quick.
Jude, unless y'all start a GoFundMe, I'm going to give you 88 million reasons why
$88 million. But I would start that GoFundMe right now. Get Lincoln out.
You better hope Jerry Jones gets interested in Lincoln Riley today. Oh man, he's picking on the wrong college coach right now.
Worst decision, and I knew it was a bad decision from the get-go because I thought Lincoln Riley was leaving Oklahoma because he knew Oklahoma was headed to the SEC, and he knew that his teams weren't built, to play that trenches kind of football. So now he goes to the Pac-12, which is, basically just the air it out conference, just like the Big 12. And all of a sudden, whoa, we're going to merge. SC's going to the Big 10, which is just as, in the trenches football as the SEC.
Well, the good news is USC has signed their defensive coordinator Dan Lynn to a contract extension. So there you go. You got that. He may be their new coach.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, but I don't think he's built for that. He wants to get out of there, man. He's an offensive coordinator, man. He needs to go or go back to Mountain West or something like that. Man, he'd probably kill on the Mountain West. He get his teams to the college football playoff every single year. You know, there'd be all this hype behind them, and then they'd lose to Georgia or Notre Dame or Penn State or something.
Yeah, I have no update on Deion going to the Cowboys yet. I think Jerry's got to interview a few more people. They got the Rooney Rule in the NFL, and you got to kind of stand by that. You got to.
If he hires Deion, doesn't that isn't that the Rooney Rule right there? Because he interviewed.
No, because it's not the ethnic background of the coach you hire. It's how many people of diverse backgrounds that you interview beforehand. It doesn't matter what color they are. It matters that you have taken the time to interview several people from different ethnic backgrounds. So that would make a big difference. But Deion was his first call, I would assume.
I thought Deion only wants to coach in the NFL if he gets to coach his kids.
Well, we're not saying that. Jude, come on. The Cowboys are fully capable of doing something really stupid. You know what I mean?
That would be horrible.
If
we
Gerard Mayo's available.
Gerard Mayo's available. Hell, he is. I mean, so is Robert Saleh. I'd rather have him than Gerard Mayo or Deion.
Mm-hmm. I think,
but it's not like Gerard Mayo. It's not like Gerard Mayo was really given like a good team to use. I mean, he got. Remember the George Carlin skit from back in the day? You get crap in, you get crap out. You know what I mean? Like if you elect shit, you're going to get shit coming through your system, right? So, you put crap in, you get crap out, right? Gerard Mayo was given a shit roster. Of course, he's not going to make chicken salad out of it.
No one disputes that, especially the team. But the reason he got bounced was not because of their record. The reason he got bounced was because of how he handled the clubhouse and the ownership and the press. You can't have a guy just come in saying the things he's done, throwing the players under the bus when they haven't done well, not showing a unity with the team, and not setting the tone for what the expectations are and how people behave. There was never a question with Belichick how people should behave on that team, and they fell right in line, and he never had a problem with someone speaking out of turn. And if somebody did do something that they should have done, Malcolm Butler's a great example. He was a hero of the Super Bowl before they lost to the Eagles. He didn't play because he violated the team's curfew rule. That's it. You don't get to do what you want, say what you want, act however you want, and get a chance to play on that team. And Mayo was not that kind of coach. They were all about inclusion and let's make decisions, in committee. And I think we all know, everyone has known this for years, you can't have that kind of culture successfully in the NFL. You need somebody to run it with more of an iron fist, and Vrabel's that guy. So we'll see how it pans out, and I'm optimistic.
There you go.
Vrabel's a Belichick. Well, so was Mayo, though. They were both Belichick disciples, weren't they?
But I'll give this to Vrabel. He's got proof in the pudding. It's not like Tennessee has gotten markedly better without him. They've only gotten way worse. So that tells you that some of the other decision-making process there in Tennessee is not as good, right? Like when a coach leaves and a team doesn't improve with their new coach, it means that the ownership and the general manager of the front office aren't as good. Like they're not as good as they thought. Like the Jets, right? The Jets have been in constant search for a new coach forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. The problem is they can't weather the storm, right? Like you can't go and have all the success and then NFL's peaks and valleys, right? Like any sport is peaks and valleys. You got to be able to accept there's going to be a valley coming up and not just like hope. well, this guy's lost it. We're going to move on, right? Like much like what the Cowboys did with Mike McCarthy, right? There was peaks and valleys. But, of course, when you make all the roster decisions and you don't let the coach pick the players that he's coaching, you kind of get what you get. If you would let the coach be involved in roster making decisions, then maybe you get something completely different, much like Belichick did for 20-plus years in New England. And much like, a Sean Payton or a John Gruden team, those guys are solidly involved in roster making decisions. Have the Raiders been better since John Gruden's been gone? No. Right? They're like, it's not like, it's questionable what he said. I'm not defending him, but, the proof's in the pudding. The players didn't want him to go. They didn't think he should have been gone. And, that is what it is. But like I said, this is not wide left NFL. This is wide right college football. So, once again, we're going to go over our schedule one more time. We're going to take a little break between now and May. You're going to see us again in May. It's going to be likely the end of May. We're going to have our spring fling, kind of our wrap on the spring season, all the transfer portal madness that's going to happen in the spring. And then we're going to cover kind of like what's coming up. You know what I mean? Like what our schedule's going to look like. And then in June, expect to see a lot of shorts from us, our way too early predictions. And that's going to be fun. I want you guys to really lay it on. I mean, I want to hear what you want to do. And then expect in July, we're going to have our draft show, getting kicked off for the season, getting ready to go. And then in August, it starts. Every week, we're going to have a show. Now, are all the shows going to be live? I don't know. And all our guests going to be live, or all our panelists going to be live at the same time? I don't think so. Just with the amount of time zones that everybody's going to be in next year, or next season. It'll be this year, but it'll be next season. I don't know. I told Jude I don't know what time it is in the Galapagos Islands, so we need to keep that in mind. We'll have to see what time it is in Easter Island, just so we know. But it's been a fun season, though, guys. I've had a good time. I'm glad you guys. I hope you all have had a good time. Jude, I'm glad you're doing better. Lindsay, I'm glad that your channel is you're ready to kick it to the curb. But it's okay. That's okay. Maybe we can talk Lindsay into doing videos again. Yeah, you heard it. Yeah, nobody's listening. Except for Brian Stewart, Adventures with Ken.
Yeah, it might break Brian's heart.
Power Strokes Jude, Diabolical 58.
And Christian.
Yeah. I think I got everybody that watched tonight. Hunter's probably like, Dad, I'm not going on because you're killing this thing. But no, I've had a good time. It's been, it goes by so fast in some aspects because it was just like yesterday I was having surgery. Because our first show, we actually filmed before I had surgery, and then we had the live chat up, and then I started live chat, and I told my wife, I'm like, hey, you probably should not give me a phone right now. But I was good. I was like, I was somewhat with it. So, because I had surgery that morning. So, I was over there like, one hand wonder there, just typing away. But Jude was there, keeping it going. That was fun to do. I think we were watching football that night too, so it'll be fun to watch. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff. This is gonna be an interesting year because I think we're gonna see probably a new conference form, and Jude's gonna get excited when I say this name. The Pac-12 will be back next in 2026.
I hope so. But I will always be loyal to that conference. We got some big names, looks like.
Sounds like the bold predictions are going to get even bolder in 2020.
Bold predictions. And the format of the show will change a little bit, but we're going to stay with what we are. Like I said, I don't know that all the panelists will be live every week, so you'll see some short format stuff. And we're going to stay true to doing our short format throughout the season next year as well. And then the show will just be kind of like our chance to bring it all together there once a week. But we'll see you then. It's been fun, though. I've had a good time.
I promise we can expect to see our special guest at the end of October. I mean, they seem to like to do the show around that time of the year. Macho Man.
My good buddy Kermit.
Oh yeah.
I can't do the voice right now. I'm just beat up from all the cold I've had, the sniffles I've had. You know, it's not easy being green. But wait,
Yo. It's funny. I got a comment on a video from
what's green and smells like bacon?
Your middle finger.
My hand! Ah! That's all we got for today. Too bad we could never gotten Bob Euchre on the show. You know what I mean? It's a missed opportunity.
Wow, we can still bust out a Ouija board or something. I'm sure he's available.
Mm.
It's scheduled free.
Just a bit outside. Oh, man. How did you get Patrick Mahomes? You know, I got that kind of pull, Brian Stewart. That's all I can tell you. I got that kind of pull. It's good, though.
Say the word and they come flocking in.
Yep. I'm going to stay on for 10 more minutes. Well, 9 more minutes. Y'all want to hang out for 9 minutes and shoot the breeze?
Sure.
All right. Let's see. I got to give it a solid hour. We're going to go an hour, at least. Minimum an hour. It's only an hour with Lindsay, Jude, and some stupid guy.
and Austin.
In Austin.
Hey, I am in Austin. Most of the day, though, I'm in another town. So.
Here, we'll hang on.
You got Mr. Bigglesworth there? He looks less than impressed. Is he missing an eye?
No, he has both of his eyes. He has both his eyes.
Okay. Are they different colors?
Nope. He's just a very serious looking cat.
You know, I'm already starting to itch just looking at the cat.
Oh, he's not a hypoallergenic animal by any stretch of the imagination. He's why I've been sneezing and blowing my nose.
I am allergic to anything with fur, and that includes women. Oh,
hey,
I got something here. Hold on a second. There we go. All right.
So back in Kat's dating days, he had to ask what women's grooming habits were to make sure he would be sneezing at inappropriate times and inflating the girls, if you know what I mean.
There you go. If you know what I mean. Bad Comedy Hour brought to you by Pantene Pro V. If you want that silky smooth finish on your hair, think Pantene Pro V. Available at all stores near you.
Used by Austin the cat.
Austin. Does Austin the cat use Pantene Pro V?
Well, you know he does. Look at this beautiful silky coat.
Ah. He's got the silky smooth?
He is.
Speaking of shampoo, I like those. I used to like those commercials with Patrick Mahomes and Troy Polamalu for Head and Shoulders. Those were pretty good.
Those were good. Those are clever. They were fun. How do they still do them?
I don't know. I don't watch TV unless it's got a football being thrown on it.
Oh.
And then at that, I don't watch commercials. I'll just toggle to another television. One of these days, I want to show you Lindsay's seen my TV viewing setup so far, but it's improving.
Nice setup.
Yeah, but there's a new TV in the works. I gotta save my money to get it though, because it's not like money grows on trees around this joint. I gotta, I'm gonna save up my dough, but I'm gonna have the ultimate fan watching experience, and I've got a room to do it in now. That'd be fun.
How big?
How big is the TV? I don't know if I really should tell, but what the hell? 86 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. I know which one I want to get.
Yeah. Which one?
But I haven't bought it yet. I know which one I want to get, but it's going to be 86 inches. But it won't be the only one. I'll have another one. Actually, I'll have 2 more.
You also won't be the only one on the panel with an 86-inch TV.
Aha! I don't have the rim shot. I need to get that in my little deal here. All right. So the one thing I'm going to do next year is I'm getting a new microphone. This thing right here kills me. I am like all the time. Okay, let's see. Cass, I'll be in San Antonio for about a week in late October, early November. We need to grab some dinner and a drink. Well, the drink will be water because I don't drink the alcohol, but I will definitely do that. just you do have my number. You do know how to get a hold of me. So unless Macho Man Randy Savage is going to be here, though, I don't know. He said late October, early November.
That's a trip to Buc-ee's.
Everybody's got to go to Buc-ee's. You got to get the beaver nuggets. I saw somebody eating beaver nuggets and milk the other day like they were corn puffs. I'm like, oh my god, that's a lot of sugar.
That's a great idea.
When you said beaver nuggets, I just assumed like a chicken nugget. It's not.
No. What it's like? It's kind of like corn pops. Corn pops. Remember corn pops, the cereal? Yeah. But they're a little bit bigger and they got more like sugar on them. You just think corn pops on steroids and sugar. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a diabetic shock you're going to go into eating the whole bag.
Yeah.
You know what, Jude? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Buc-ee's. I'm going to buy a set of beaver nuggets. I'm going to mail them to you. So you too can enjoy beaver nuggets.
Sounds like
a
set of beaver nuggets. I think we're talking about two different things.
Hey, throw beaver nuggets.
Throw Lindsay's coil tools hat in that bag. What you're doing?
You got any hats left, Lindsay?
I gotta find out where I put that. I know it's around somewhere. I tucked it away.
Didn't I give you some hats or something to send to Jude? A hat, a beanie, or something like
hats
that?
And then hang on to them because you were gonna I forget why you told me to hang on to them. You were gonna put some other stuff in there or something. I forget why.
I mean, Lindsay probably won't even be in business by the time Jude gets the hats. It's only an hour, folks. It's only an hour. You got 3.5 minutes left, and then we'll get the hell off your screen. It's only an hour. We can't take that name because there's actually the name of a show that I listen to during the day. It's a football. It's on a football channel, but they have a show called "It's Only an Hour."
Oh, that's
cool. Pretty good. But they talk a lot of recruiting stuff though, so I dork out on that a lot. But that's all right. It's only an hour. But isn't that bootlegging? Well, beaver nuggets. I don't know. I don't care. That's not what they're going to get me for. I promise you that. That won't be the nail in the coffin. There's a few other ones.
I don't know. What's his face? What was his name?
If I go to prison for sending Jude candied treats, that's gonna be. I'm about to lie, get my street cred up. I'm about to say I stabbed somebody. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to go like swinging in courtroom or something. I at least get some street cred. I can't go in there like I sent my friend some candy, and they're like
beaver nuggets.
I sent him some beaver nuggets. What the hell is wrong with you? What else, Jude? Can we send you anything else? I gotta make this worth the ship here. Beaver nuggets. We'll have to send you a couple bags of beaver nuggets. I think you're gonna like these. Your son likes sweets?
You'll
love them. My son likes.
That's my question.
Oh my goodness, yes, my son likes. Sweets.
So my daughter, my daughter doesn't like sweets. It's the weirdest thing.
How old is she?
She's an odd child. She's 16.
Really doesn't like sweets, huh?
Never has. I mean, she likes the tart candy, like if she does eat it. But she doesn't like sweets, which is weird. I couldn't eat any of that shit. What are you in jail for? Bootlegging beaver nuggets? Pretty much. That'd be. She's adopted. I don't eat sweets at all. So, I mean, I do. Well, let's say I like them. I just don't eat them because I've lost like a whole person. So I continue to lose all. Yeah, I got another person to lose, and then we'll be good. But we'll get there. But sugar is definitely not on the diet. I stay away from sugar, 100%. But yep. All right. Let's see, Jude. You like beef jerky?
Yes.
It won't be from Lindsay's truck. We'll get you some Buc-ee's beef jerky too.
Teriyaki.
Teriyaki? All right, I can do it. I gotta go to, but it's funny. I'll have to drive to Baji's neighborhood to go to Buc-ee's. I think it might be the closer of the one. I'll have to tell her. All right, Ken, we'll see you later. Thanks for dropping by.
Hi, Ken.
I have to call her. Maybe she can meet me at Buc-ee's and and harass me in the parking lot.
And that's cool. A lot of you
We'll
guys
see.
live in a. Have you ever met Brandon? He's not far from you either, is he?
No, but that's on my priorities list. You know what I mean? Brandon. So here's the deal. If you get to meet Brandon, Brandon's like a meeting royalty. Brandon has the most famous YouTube friends of all time, right? So Brandon's like he's the most popular guy on YouTube. He has to be, right? Because all of his friends, they're all famous people. You know,
Yeah.
so like Brandon's like YouTube royalty. I cannot wait to meet Brandon. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
He invited
And
me. On
Bocce said he is hysterical. He is one of the funniest people she's ever met. So she's a pretty good judge of people. So
he invited me on a live stream one night. He says, "Yeah, we're gonna talk diesels." I said, "All right, cool." So I jumped on, and Stephen Cox is on there. I'm like, "Oh shit, Stephen Cox!"
yeah, it's like holy shit. I wasn't prepared. I remember watching that one. You want to hear something funny, Jude? I was texting with y'all while I was sitting in line at Dairy Queen getting my hamburger. Oh, and I said this. Stephen Cox is the reason why I started making YouTube videos. He was one of the first YouTubers I ever watched. And Jude is the reason why I got on the live streams. Jude is like one of the first people that ever invited me on the live stream. So I said it to both of them. So, but yeah, no. So Brandon's friends with like Demolition Ranch. He's friends with Stephen Cox. He's friends with who else? He's got like a laundry list of people. I'm like the Good of the Land guy, Justin from Good of the Land.
Is it farm to? It's a channel with a farm name. It's got like 300,000 subs too. It's a huge channel.
Yeah, I mean, just he knows everybody. He's like the mayor of YouTube. You know what I mean? Everybody's friends with Brandon. It's got to be a good position to be in. But also, he makes some killer stuff. So if you need a little mower tool, go to mowertool.com. Get your mower tool from Brandon. He sells the mower tool, and he also does a lot of 3D printing. So he's a good dude.
Yeah, I've got a couple of wrench racks that he made me. Inexpensive too. I think they were less than.
It's the world's strongest magnet that I don't know where the hell he got these things from. The rare earth magnet he's got. You could probably pull a car through a wall with it.
I think it's strong for sure.
Oh my gosh! I promise you, the magnet is never going to leave wherever you fasten it to. It is permanent. Oh man, good season. It's a good season. I'm kind of glad the season's over.
A lot of fun. I apologize for the episodes I missed or the episodes I had to cut short, but it was a lot of fun.
It's all right. I don't know what night we're going to go on next year, though. We have to wait and see. I kind of want to do it like at least later than Tuesday, but we don't need to. We can make it whenever. I do know that we're going to get some on-location stuff coming up, though, next season.
Ooh, that sounds like
on location. Which would be good, because it's the only way we're going to be able to watch Hawaii games is like FaceTime. So, man. I'm not paying $150 to watch football games on Flow Sports. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. But
that's great.
Lindsay, are you down for doing it next season? Running it back again for season 4?
It would be my honor.
Is it? Be your honor. Jude's good. I know he's already.
Season 4 is coming up. That is just wild. That means this. How many weeks are there?
Too many. 52 in a year. 17, and I think 17 or 20 in our football season.
Are they saying 20? That means we've got 60 plus week season 1, like 3 a season. So that's 20%. We got like 120. Probably 120 uploads on Right CFB.
I weeded a bunch out a while back because we did 3 a season the first season, but I weeded a bunch out because there were a bunch on there. I was like, I don't know. But if you want to go back and see Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, they're there because I was trying to steal a clip from one of them for something and I messed it up. The world is my oyster. One of these days, I'll give everybody, editing credentials for the. I have no idea how to do that. I'm not the guy for it. But
I think I have that. I think I can upload. So doesn't that mean I can edit?
I mean, if you find out how to do it, let me know. Not be. We may have to start a new channel just so we can all be contributors to it. Because I've lost all the passwords. If something were to ever happen to my computer, we'd all be fucked. I mean, it'd be a harsh night. So, yep. So, Jude, what's coming up on your channel? What do you? If anybody was wondering what Jude's channel is, I'm not gonna be able to put it up on the deal because I'm not fluent in computer. But the Power Stroke Jude YouTube channel, he's been posting a lot of shorts lately. Yes, shorts, right?
Yeah,
Kinda?
pretty much. Pretty just to stay in the eye of people. Not because I like shorts, but I've been doing a lot of mobile work, and people have asked. They see my setup and they want to see how everything packs into my tough system. So I was thinking of just setting up, showing how I show up and just unboxing and showing everything that's in my tough system. I don't know. People say they want to see
Lindsay,
that.
what you got? Any tools in the hall coming up? Are you going to make it to your 100th episode of Tools in the Hall, or are you going to quit before you get there?
No, I might cap it at 100. I'll get there, but the frustrating thing I've been finding is I'm trying to restock the truck, and I was going to take a bunch of money and put it in inventory, but then I got a large order for Capital Metro that I had to fulfill. So I took all the money I was going to restock with and put it toward their order, and now I got to put that off again.
Should we talk about the deal I'm going to get on some rubbers coming up? Gonna have a discussion on that. So, Jude, I have a very fortunate. Jude, what size glove do you wear?
I think I usually get extra large.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes large. I don't know. I have to go look. I think I buy extra large.
Well, the rubber man's got a deal on
this glove.
double X, double. Yeah, that were extra larges too. It's actually 2 extra large on. Ladies.
Otherwise, it's like an extra medium.
Extra medium. I could use a contact lens and a paper clip. We'll be here all night. No, we won't. We'll be gone here in a minute. It's good to know. Good news is nobody's watching.
You buying some gloves from Lindsay?
I might be. It depends on if I get a good price.
You'll get a good price.
I may end up with like 8,000 of them.
It's not that many.
Do you still have a pretty big inventory?
Actually, no. I have everything sold, but I think I have 8 cases of double extra large left. Other than that,
how many gloves are in a case?
Actually, no, you're right. It'll be 8,000 gloves. Yeah, because there's 1,000 gloves per case.
I'm not the smartest motherfucker alive, but I did learn how to count with my hands and my fingers and my toes.
Good for you. That's terrific.
There's a teacher. One of my teachers, if they're still alive, they're probably smiling right now because I was able to do some simple math finally.
Good.
No, they're not.
That's too bad that the whoever negotiated that deal with you didn't fulfill what their obligation.
Yeah, the thing that
can I shed on them, Lindsay?
Please.
It was Cap Metro, but it wasn't the employees of Cap Metro. It was one employee at Cap Metro, and they took advantage of a situation with Lindsay. And well, you know what we say, Lindsay? Fuck them.
And that's the point I got. So things have changed there recently, where the woman who was in charge of ordering parts and supplies, who I struck this deal with, is no longer in her position there. Right now, nobody's in that position. So I mysteriously got this order sent to me for more gloves. And before they order anything, you have to quote it out for them. So they sent me this request for a quote so they can cut the purchase order. And it came from their procurement group, which is not normally who initiates these things. So they may have changed some inner process. I don't know. So they said, quote these gloves. I'm like, okay. But I will quote them at a price that only makes sense for me. I'm not going to give them a discount. I'm not going to do any bargain stuff.
I would have gone heavy on the pricing on that one. You know what I mean?
it's not heavy. It's about what normal people would pay for a box of gloves. So I quote it, and they come into purchase orders. I'm like, well, okay, I really can't complain.
That's what I'm saying, Lindsay. I mean, you should hit them harder. You know what I mean? Like, oh, did I say?
Maybe I'll know for next time.
50%. I mean, 150%.
Well, the prices fluctuate and stuff all the time because, especially with all the talk of tariffs, people are nervous about stuff that comes from overseas. So it's hitting the price, and unfortunately, the cost to the consumer is going to be reflective of that. So I mean, they said yes, so I got the order in, but it cost me a bunch of money that I was going to put toward restocking the truck. So,
what is
if Trojan made gloves, do you think they'd sell?
They do.
I'm a Trojan man. Hold on a second. Better late than never. Better late than never. What are you doing here?
I got done with what I need to get done with.
Oh, you missed the entire show.
I am the entire.
Give us your pick before we go off the air.
Yeah, we're about to go off the air. Why are you picking Notre Dame?
Because I just don't feel
because
like
Ohio State beat Texas.
No, I mean I would have. My pick would have been Notre Dame. Like, no matter if Ohio State beat Texas by 14 or 40 or 3 or whatever, I would pick Notre Dame. I feel like they've really they're a completely different team than the team that lost to NIU, and every week they've gotten better. Every single week they've gotten better. Even through the playoff, they've gotten better. So I just don't see at this point. I think that Texas showed a formula to beating Ohio State. I think Notre Dame has the talent in the defensive backfield to replicate it. The challenge will come in stopping the run game. However, I think that Riley Leonard's ability to run will fundamentally allow Notre Dame to control the clock and win the game. Because as you saw against Texas, Ohio State was not prepared for Quinn Ewers' run. To be fair, it wasn't like that was expected to begin with, but I think that will open up holes for Jeremiah Love to be able to run. It'll give Notre Dame the ability to run their counter system. And I think overall, Notre Dame will edge out the Ohio State Buckeyes in a probably low-scoring affair, to be honest. But Notre Dame's going to have to respect Ohio State's big playability in order to make that happen. So I'm going to go 27-24 Fighting Irish.
I pretty much had the same score. Mine was 27-21. But I said my lead pipe lock was somebody bet their junk that Notre Dame wouldn't win. If Notre Dame won the game, they would bet their junk. Hey, you can't throw that out there. That is like the guarantee they're going to win. It's like the dog shit guy. Who was the other guy that bet? What did they bet later in the season? What was the other ridiculous bet?
I don't know.
Didn't somebody bet their wife at some point? Like, God, come on.
I know one panelist who offered to say that one said knee wasn't down, but turns out the game don't lie.
Hey, I don't know that I saw any knees down in any college football games, Jude.
All right, well, listen.
Vince Young is just a very religious guy. He just took that opportunity to pray then. I don't know what you're speaking of about him getting a knee down. I mean, he was praising God after he scored. All right, come on.
Yeah,
You're just looking at a clip from later in the game. There's having to be guys running around.
No, that's Photoshop, all right? Everyone knows that Pete Carroll is a avid Photoshop user.
He's a whiz at the computer.
Yes, 74-year-old Pete, man, that dude's just a technology.
I hope when I'm 74, I'm living like Pete Carroll. Because Pete Carroll's still going to be alive when I get to 74. I firmly believe that. That guy's going to live into the middle hundreds.
I would like him to be the Cowboys coach.
Makes too much sense.
That would require Jerry to let a coach do things.
Jude, it makes too much sense as why he's not going to be the coach.
Yeah.
The Cowboys they're gonna go like, hey, what's the toughest situation we can put ourselves into? Let's hire Dion. You think?
I don't even think Dion's
why not? Let's
situation.
do it.
The toughest situation behind Cliff.
They're gonna hire a coach.
Kellen Moore.
They're going to hire someone that's got some pedigree, probably has a Super Bowl under his belt, but he's just still going to be Jerry's yes man.
They had him.
They've done that. Where's Dave Campo at?
What? We're gonna get someone like Doug Peterson. Which would be ridiculous.
You're probably right.
Oh my gosh.
I just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to assume they're going to suck, and if they do well, I'll be happy. If they don't do well, wasn't like I was surprised.
It's called being a bandwagon fan, son.
No, being a bandwagon fan would be like, I'm gonna claim to be a fan of a different team. No, I'm still a Cowboys
I'm literally
fan.
if they hire Dion, I'm literally gonna be a fan of a different team.
I'll give him like a few weeks. If it looks as bad as I think it is, then I'll go ahead and pull the trigger.
Yeah, Brian, Urban Meyer could be available to come coach my Pee Wee. Actually, I would love coaching any kids for sure. No, hell no, I don't want Urban Meyer.
I Dion's a lot of things. A terrible, awful person is not one of them.
Yeah, I mean, at least if he's got any weird peccadillos, he keeps that stuff wrapped up. Urban Meyer just can't keep his business out of the public eye. No, I don't want Urban Meyer. We're building in a character here. Bullshit! You get your finger up your waitress's ass. Come on, Urban. Quality individual.
I don't think I want Ben Johnson.
Why? Because you don't want to win?
I think that if we get Ben Johnson, it'd be like the end of the Dak Prescott era because they're going to want to bring a young quarterback to build with.
I think if they hire Dion, it's the end of the Dak era.
Oh, that's true.
They're going to trade Dak to Tennessee. They're working on doing that. No, they want Tennessee's pick right now. They're going to trade Dak to Tennessee for the first, a fourth, and like a sixth is what they're working on.
And maybe what's that? Not Tavondre Sweat, but their other defensive tackle. They say he's a possible party of that.
Yeah, this is all like if they hire Dion, this is what they're going to trade Dak to Tennessee, and Tennessee is going to give up a ton for him too, which is surprising.
Well,
I couldn't believe it.
So the whole deal with like Cowboys fans, like, oh, Dak Prescott hasn't won the playoffs, but you have a lot of teams that like he is a consistent winner in the regular season, and a lot of teams just go and look and say, oh, we can put what's necessary around him to go and win in the postseason.
He's a top 15 quarterback. I mean, you can't walk away from a top 15 quarterback unless you're the Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna get rid of our franchise quarterback for a guy that's played 2 years of Power 5 football. I mean. He played basically in the G5, the lower levels of the G5.
He played in FCS
or FCS. And then he moved to Power 5.
HBCU football, very few HBCUs have success against upper level FCS teams.
No,
I'm not saying that he can't be a great player. I mean, like Jerry Rice may be the greatest, or Walter Payton may be the greatest HBCU player of all time. But I mean. I'm not inspired by Shador, and I definitely don't want the dad and the son together on the same team. God, that's just gonna be. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm on the fence. I've lived through some pretty shitty Cowboys seasons, so like I got to watch the Lenny and Squiggy years with Dave Campo and Chan Gailey. So that was pretty bad. The end of the Tom Landry era was not fun to watch. But, like Hank Hill, loyal Cowboy fan, Hank Hill, you just got to deal with it.
He played for the Cowboys in the Landry era.
So, I don't know. I mean, I'll be open-minded, but, man, it's not that I don't like Dion. And it might be better because Dion's not going to he's not going to be a position coach. He's going to be the CEO. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be the guy that says that, but I don't know.
My only issue with the Dion as a hire is the fact that, unless he was like, I'm not going to, take Shador, is because there's so many fundamental flaws with Shador's game that it's so hard to go and say, oh, he's worth ditching a top 10, top 15 quarterback for an unproven and very iffy college quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. So it'll be interesting to see. But there's a lot of head coaching jobs that are still vacant right now in the NFL. The only one that's not is the Patriots. The Raiders are still going to hire a coach. The Saints are still going to hire a coach. The Jaguars are still going to hire a coach. The Cowboys have to hire a coach. Am I missing somebody? Chicago needs to hire a coach. The Jets don't have a coach. So it's kind of one of those things. You never know what happens to Kansas City if they win the third one. Does Andy Reid retire, or does he still like to eat 40-ounce steaks and sit in his tidy whities?
He could do
So you
both.
don't know. But he may be done after the season. You never know. He is of the age, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a three-peat, man, that would be crazy.
Well, he's got the right guy to help him do it. Harrison Butker.
Oh, I'm muted. Okay.
I like how nobody laughed except for me.
Harrison Butker,
It's
man,
all right.
they're gonna need him.
Well, I don't know if he or Bert Auburn's missed more kicks in the last month. But
Oh,
Yeah, but Butker's he's got an excuse. He's been fighting with an injury that they've asked him to play through. Bert Auburn's injury is between his ears.
well, that's not untrue.
So Taylor Swift is the right guy.
But, everyone knows that Beyonce Knowles will be the coach of the Cowboys.
Why
You think
is
Kelsey
he
comes back?
muting himself? No, he's done. That's it.
They are drafting a tight end of similar skill set in this draft. There's no way Kelsey comes back. He's like by the numbers a drain on the team at this point. While he is good and he'll probably play well through the playoffs, I don't think that he has much left in him.
He has been terrible the whole season. He's such a liability on the field. He can't block anymore because he's not fast enough to get there, and he can't get open. And when he is open, he drops a ton of passes. I just think he's done. He just looks like a guy that's hanging on for one more year. So
Well, he was looking to break the touchdowns record. I think he has it now for tight ends. So I don't know that he. And don't get me wrong, he's been a great player. He's in probably first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, 3 Super Bowl rings, leads the NFL and leads all tight ends all time in touchdown receptions. I mean, he's a great player, but I don't see it happening much longer. I mean, the Chiefs literally come up with plays every week to get the ball to Xavier Worthy just because they can't rely on their tight ends anymore.
I mean, their best tight end's a guy nobody's ever heard of. So
Who's their backup?
Kelsey's the backup. This guy, well, he may start the game, but he comes out right away. It's what's the other guy's name?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know you're talking about. He wears like 84 or something like that.
Yeah, 83. I think Kelsey's 87, but I don't know. I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of their team, but not for any
It's
particular
like
reason.
it's kind of like how I felt about the Patriots at one point. It was like I'm not a fan, but I respect the greatness. Like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes together, it's like one of those all-time great combinations that how many times
It's
you're
like
going to see
peanut butter and jelly. It's like Kool-Aid and sugar.
How
like
about
a
the
sock
chat right
and
now?
some nickels and hitting it with somebody. What?
Our chat being dominated by Brian Stewart as he holds every single spot on the board.
Well,
Let's give it up for Brian
Stewart's an
Stewart.
active commenter. Commenter of the week, Brian Stewart.
We might as well make it the season. You know what I mean? He's here. Nobody else is.
Yeah,
Let's give out some awards. Lindsay's
Wide
like,
Right
awards.
CFB
Our
awards.
favorite fan who also sells tools goes to Brian Stewart.
There you go. To our only fan at 10:24 on a Thursday evening, Brian Stewart, you are a big winner. Here, I'll give an applause. I have an applause here. We have an applause. Where's the applause? Brian Stewart, the big winner there.
You stink. The applause didn't play.
Yeah, it did. Did y'all hear the applause?
No.
Boo.
Has been a fun season though.
Nothing. Waiting for the FedEx
Yeah.
guy to show up. Well, your award's not coming FedEx, Brian Stewart. We sent it through messenger pigeon. Look for your messenger pigeon.
You won one
Said-
free ride on a Spirit Airlines flight.
Ooh,
Where's it
I would
going?
pass on that. Anywhere
I
would be
don't
too
know.
far. I'd almost get on an Ocean Gate submarine before I get on Spirit Airlines.
Oceanic Flight 714. You guys know what that is?
I assume this is one of those aircraft that got shot down.
Oceanic, that was the airline that the passengers from Lost were on when they ended up in the
Why did it all end in a church?
on an Oceanic flight. I don't know, and I don't know why what's his name didn't go in the church, and I don't know why Hugo was the boss, and there's so many things I don't know.
I don't know about Lost except for the whole church thing. That's all I know.
Because they were all
My pet
supposedly-
eagle eats pigeons. Brian Stewart, do you really have a pet eagle? Is this a real
That's
thing?
fucking badass.
If anyone would, he would.
I mean, like, you just got bumped up pretty high on my list here. If you have a fucking pet eagle, you're coming up about 9,000 pegs.
I
Not that I
found
had you download before. This puts you over the top. I have a pet
I found that
eagle.
for a $50 application fee in the state of Texas. You can own wild and dangerous animals like a lynx, and which are really cool. I want one.
Bobcat.
Bobcats, things like that.
I heard
For a total of, if you own like 10 of them, you have to pay $50 a piece, up to $500. You have to show your enclosure. You have to get approved. But man, this gives me a project to work on. If I can write a big enclosure, I'm going to buy myself a lynx.
I also heard that if you own just have a big property in the state of Texas and throw on a bunch of slop, you can own a shit ton of feral pigs.
I mean, you don't have to have a big spot. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, you could live in an apartment, they'd be in your parking lot eating your trash.
You'd also have a whole lot of
yeah,
friends who have to come over and shoot them for you.
Yeah. You know,
I've watched those
your boy-
videos where they have the cages that drop on them when they get them all in the spot they wanted. They lock the cage and they all freaking just go wild trying to get out.
Yeah. I don't know that we can, Hunter. I don't know that we can tell some of these stories, can we, son?
I mean, technically everything is legal because pigs are
It's just-
classified
it's
as
frowned
a pest.
upon, like masturbating
Well,
on an
I mean-
airplane.
No, they're,
I
pigs
mean,
are, wild hogs are a nuisance species.
Yeah, yes.
they're not protected by any animal cruelty laws. So
It'd be like complaining that fleas are endangered. The state has a bounty out for. They get $5 a head.
No. That's it works. It doesn't work like that. What you think it does? So it's done county by county on bounties, and they only buy so many at a time. So it's not like you were going to roll up with 30 tails and go get $300 or $3,000 or whatever. They're only going to buy like 2 or 3 from you at a time. We've done this before. We saved up a bunch of tails and we were going to go turn them in, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to buy like 4 from you guys." We're like, "Oh, fuck this."
Well, you got to kill a bunch of hogs.
yeah.
Hey, but we got to do the fun stuff.
See? The bounties
Yeah,
are
Coil
like,
Tools
I
petting zoo. Are you going to really get a lynx? You going to get a cat?
Lynx is a
After
bobcat.
I saw a video of a lynx. They're like 40. They look like 40-pound house cats, and they purr
Minus
really
the,
loudly. And I
Minus
really,
the
really want
the sharp razor sharp teeth. Except for this one, when this one bites you, it leaves a mark.
the one I saw in this video was really friendly.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're all that way. They're a wild animal.
I know.
Kidding me?
but,
I'm gonna get a lynx. Next I'll have a lion. Oh, what happened to Lindsay? Oh, he got eaten by his lion.
I think Lindsay's been watching like the Urban Rescue Ranch or whatever. Guy has 2 bobcats that he's raised. It's kind of cool.
I ain't getting no danger pussy. I already married danger pussy. I don't need no bigger danger
Hey,
pussy. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Oh,
Hey, did you guys ever hear that story of the lady who had a snake? I believe it was a python and he thought that the python was like sick and dying, because it was like it wasn't eating and it was getting really, really thin, and it was just not doing very much at all. So she called like a vet to come and check it out, and he told her, she said, no, he's preparing himself for a meal, and he was preparing to eat her. Because he knew that he had to like slim down, and he was gonna munch down on
He's
this.
like, I'm about to eat this fat bitch here. I gotta lose a few lbs.
That's gotta be.
See,
that
this
has
is
to be
why I
one
don't
big-ass
own snakes
python
either.
to do that.
I don't know. These are all things I'm never gonna own. I'm never gonna have like a massive snake. I'm never gonna have a big cat. That's not gonna happen. It's not my purview. It's not what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we got a pet grizzly bear. Okay, but I'm never gonna come over to your house ever.
Yeah.
This is still a negotiation with my wife. Like, I'm starting high, hoping that she'll see something else more reasonable. If I wind up being able to have a raccoon as a pet, that'd be a big win.
You don't need to ask permission. You just need to put food out.
Well,
just don't cover your trash for a couple
but
of days.
you can't have chickens and raccoons at the same time. They don't
We
exist.
have a family of 5 raccoons that are here every night.
Did they kill your chickens?
No,
They will.
no, we have what we call the magic tree out in front of the house.
The magic tree. What are you, Mormon? Oh, we have magic underwear too.
It's
weird.
It's more mysterious than that. No matter what we put out under that tree is gone the next day. Doesn't matter what it is.
Do you have a troll from Ernest Scared Stupid that lives
might.
in the tree?
I don't
How
know.
about a booger sandwich?
It's like Jim Varney's here with us right now.
So we'll put out
Hey, who does the dog on Toy Story now?
What?
I thought they just CGI'd his voice or something.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Or the dog went away or something, or they stopped using him after he died. I think they had I don't know. But wasn't Arlie Army one of the characters in the Toy Story also?
He was the Green Army Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was what's his name from Full Metal Jacket, right?
Arlie
Yes,
Army. Yeah.
His best friend. Everyone always remembers him from Full Metal Jacket. That's why I said that. But I remember him from House of a Thousand Corpses, man.
First, Saving Silverman, where he's like, stay away from women. They only want your man juice.
When you can't suppress a hard liquor, use this.
That's good advice.
Was he realistic at all as a drill sergeant
Well, one, he was a drill instructor.
or drill instructor?
You gotta get this right. There's important facts here, dude. That you gotta get right.
And yes and no. I mean, some of the stuff he said they wouldn't say now, or even back then, really. But I can't say everything because, they didn't hit us. But if someone really sucked at drill, them and an instructor would go in the woods. He would come back after falling down a hill and be better at drill. So. But he was covered in bruises because he fell down a hill, not because any physical contact. But no, they definitely that way he would get under people's skin and mess with them. That's pretty similar. Like the big speech thing isn't really a thing, at least at an officer side, but it's not. We had something similar, but it wasn't quite as theatrical. But there's definitely times you're there and you're like, I remember this.
That's funny. That's cool.
But anyways, like I said, I digress. We have 4 people watching. Shout out to the 4 people watching. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry I keep cutting in and out. They're making a bunch of loud noise, so.
It's all right. I think we're going to wrap it up here. It's been a great season. It's been fun hanging out with you guys and hanging out with everybody in the chat. Brian Stewart, and Brian Stewart.
And hey, don't forget Brian Stewart.
Oh yeah, hey, don't forget Brian Stewart. But all right, let's. He's on all 4 accounts. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's say our goodbyes and let's. You know what one sheep herder said to the other? Let's get the flock out of here. All right. How do I do this? Hunter, solo out. Go ahead.
I'll put it on the video.
Oh, you look like
outside.
It looks like you're wearing like you're about to rob a liquor store or something.
No, I wouldn't do that. Thanks everyone for watching all season. And I'll do the full show. So go Navy. They beat Army. Put belt to ass. Eat 'em up, cats. And hook 'em horns and eat 'em up, cats. See ya.
All right.
Hunter looked like Igor from Young Frankenstein.
You look like he was about to go rob a liquor store. You know what I mean? Like he's like, hey, what you got there?
It's like 20 degrees out here and cold as fuck. All right.
I mean, you're almost glow in the dark. All right, Lindsay, come on, say some stuff. Make it.
All right,
make it
everybody.
sound snappy.
Thank you so much for joining us this season. It was a pleasure to have you. We love doing the show for you. Please join us later on this year, and man, we start doing some different kinds of shows, and of course for the regular season starting in the fall. We appreciate all of you. Thank you very much, Brian. Thanks for hanging there tonight till the end. Remember, folks, you can't spell college football without some
A pen.
A pen, an education.
Education.
That's why we have him here, folks. That's why we have him here. All right, Jude, it's your turn.
Everyone, thank you for another great season. It's been a lot of fun. I get to hang out with some people that I really, really like a lot. You know, all cool dudes. We are SC. Fight on, we are SC, and V is for victory. Remember, you can't spell SEC without the letters S and C. Night, everyone.
All right, I got to thank everybody for being here the entire season, right? We've had a plethora of fun here, a plethora, I don't know. But anyways, it's been a great season. I've had a good time. I'm glad I've got to share it with my son and my friends. It's been a good time. And all of you watching, excellent time. Thank you. Thank you. And like I said, remember, use a tool. Don't be one. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I was stealing that one for later. That's from my other stream. Remember, the team that scores the most points always wins the game. Thanks for watching.
Wait, let me say something.
Oh, I've already hit the...
Night,
All
everybody.
right, say something. Make it snappy. I'm
All
in a
right.
goddamn hurry.
Well, so it's just the way things are working out. I may not be on the show next season, just because of where I'll be. So it's a lot of fun being on the show for all 3 viewers that we have that aren't botted accounts from the panel's own YouTube account. So, but it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it a lot. I
right.
hope that I wasn't too annoying, but thank y'all.
Well, he was being annoying right there.
Go
kidding.
fuck yourself.
All right. That's uncalled for, son. That was uncalled for. Anyways, this thing has gone off the rails. Anyways,
How many times have you
I'm trying to end the show. Just give me a second. I'm trying to end the show. We won't let me end the show.
the show.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching this season. We appreciate it. We'll see you next season. And remember, the team that scores the most points always wins the game. Thanks for watching.
Night, everyone.
Good night.